Due to recent events in One Piece, events being a certain admiral who will not be named and a certain pirate who also will not be named, as the events in question are unbearably embarrassing for the admiral, have led me to wonder just how overpowered Conqueror's Haki is. I mean, at this point, it seems if you don't have Conqueror's Haki going forward, well, you're just going to be left in the dust. Or will you? Does Conqueror's Haki have a weakness? Well, maybe. The answer is a tricky one, as its greatest and only weakness lies in its greatest strength. But what is that strength? It's simple. Clicking the like button below, subscribing to The Blank Face, and getting notified. But seriously, I will answer if Conqueror's Haki has a weakness. I will answer. I will. I will, because willpower is really what we're talking about when we say Haki, as Haki is simply the manifestation of one's will. With that manifestation, you can accomplish amazing things like peering ever so slightly into the future, or hardening your skin and muscles to increase your strength and durability. You can even create invisible barriers and code objects with your willpower. But Conqueror's Haki is special because instead of just imposing your will onto yourself or objects, you're able to impose your will on other people. Use it to dominate those whose will isn't up to par, resulting in them losing consciousness. This dominating of will can easily be misinterpreted as the weakest of the techniques associated with Conqueror's Haki, as Conqueror's Haki can be used to incapacitate enemies, apply unnatural pressure to your surroundings, and can be imbued into your body and weapons to add a substantial boost to your power. However, what if I told you the ability to dominate another's will always be the strongest ability of Conqueror's Haki? But if Conqueror's strongest ability is your will dominating another, then what happens when two equally powerful individuals with equally powerful wills clash? What happens when two conquerors are attempting to conquer the other? Surprisingly, Oda has already answered this exact question. In fact, he's revealed it more than once, particularly with Luffy and his opponents in Katakuri and Kaido. In Luffy's fight against Katakuri, both combatants' wills were on display from the beginning of the fight. Luffy's desire to become Pirate King, to defeat the man with a billion-berry bounty, and because his friends believed in him. Katakuri's was confidence in his own abilities, upholding his image of perfection, of never lying down on his back, and his dominance over those above him. You can already see a difference in these two wills, as Luffy's will is driven by the completion of a goal, versus Katakuri upholding something already held, an important distinction that will decide the outcome of their battle. At the start of the fight, Katakuri's strength was completely one-sided. He dominated Luffy in every facet of ability, in observation Haki, in armament Haki, and in devil fruit ability. With the odds absurdly in his favor, he did what every conqueror does, and he attempted to break Luffy's spirit. However, it was his spirit that ended up getting ruffled by Luffy. First, Luffy unknowingly broke the image of Katakuri never lying on his back, his image of perfection. Strike to his will, number 1. Second, Luffy began to break his confidence in his future sight by gaining access to the very future sight that he himself held in high regard. Strike number 2. As the fight continues, Katakuri would still try and break Luffy's spirit, but it was to no avail. And after both unleashed their Conqueror's Haki, they both gave two very telling lines. While Luffy upholds his dominance by stating that he is still going to win, Katakuri acknowledges Luffy as his equal, no longer seeing himself as the dominant of the two. Strike number 3. It's at this moment that Katakuri's will began to be overwhelmed by Luffy's, and though he was the stronger of the two, these 3 blows to Katakuri's will dampened his own Haki. After the final strike, Luffy launches himself out of the crater and looks up at a looming Katakuri. However, the battle had already been won. Katakuri although standing spoke as if he already lost. He asked Luffy if he would return to defeat Big Mom, and upon hearing Luffy's response and declaration to become the Pirate King, he acknowledges his defeat to the superior Conqueror. To further this, he even acknowledged that Luffy possessed the superior future sight by saying he's looking quite far into the future, though Katakuri himself could only see a few seconds. And finally, Katakuri falls onto his back, the last sign of his conquered will. I do plan to do a deep dive into the character that is Katakuri because he is one of Oda's best written characters and he's one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece. Now, Kaido is much simpler compared to Katakuri. Kaido was a conqueror who's witnessed the likes of great conquerors in Roger, Whitebeard, Odin, and potentially Rox. He is absolutely certain of his dominion over Luffy. This is evident as many of Kaido's attacks inflicted upon Luffy after his hybrid transformation are from above Luffy, a symbol of his current dominance over Luffy and crew, and also an excellent visual representation by Oda. During their entire bout, Kaido showed no signs of losing to Luffy until he defeated Luffy for the first time and threw him off Onigashima, where he said, "It looks like you couldn't be Joy Boy either." This statement by Kaido means that at some point during the fight, he recognized that Luffy had the potential to be Joy Boy. But like Kaido himself, Luffy wasn't strong enough either. This will be important later on. Kaido's entire mantra, or his will, is based around strength, and the only character he recognized as definitively surpassing him in strength was Joy Boy. After Luffy's awakening, a subtle change began to take place in the fight between Kaido and Luffy. Luffy's attacks began to strike from above Kaido, a physical manifestation of an inner change. Before, Kaido had all but dominated the battle. Now, both Kaido and Luffy began to exchange blows from above the other in a seesaw-like pattern until their final blow, where Luffy not only stands in the clouds above Kaido, reminiscent of a god, but his fist even dwarfs the giant dragon in size. Kaido, being a conqueror of the highest level, matches Luffy, saying that he will take his attack head on and wraps his body in a dragon of flames, and they clash with unseen levels of Conqueror's Haki. With the first blow, they're even. Neither side gives, both resolute in their wills. However, on the second blow, something changes and the tides of the fight shifts. Kaido does exactly what Katakuri does and acknowledges Luffy. He tells him, "Well done to have gotten this far, but Luffy cannot change the world." This is Kaido unconsciously raising Luffy to his equal, as Kaido has tried and failed to change the world, and he is imprinting his own insecurities onto Luffy, seeing himself in Luffy. And almost to confirm his own self-doubts, he asks Luffy what world will he create, and Luffy reveals his will. Not that he will become king of the pirates, but that he wants to create a world where his friends can eat as much food as they want. Luffy carries not only his will, but the will of those around him. And in that moment, Kaido has lost, and Luffy's fist connects with the true body, the true will of Kaido. The impact triggers a memory in Kaido, and we see his true will for the first time. That whoever Joy Boy is, he is the one who will defeat Kaido. Kaido was introduced as a character looking to be defeated, whether due to himself or by another. The moment Kaido recognized that Luffy could be Joy Boy, the only one who can defeat him, the battle was lost. Luffy won the battle of wills. And that essentially is the story of One Piece. It has always been a battle of wills. The reason Conqueror's Haki is the strongest form of Haki is because as long as you have an unyielding will, you will rise to the occasion and surpass those who stand against you. And on the flip side of the coin, when your will has been broken, no matter your power, you will lose. The uniqueness of Luffy is that his will to become king of the pirates, though it appears on the surface to be a selfish desire, it's one that carries the will of those around him. As Luffy expressed this best himself to his dear friend Sanji, "Without your help, I cannot become king of the pirates." I've been the Blank Face, and I'll see you in the next one.